Hello again, and welcome to another book talk with Tracy. Today I wanted to do a little bit of reading from my book, Three Strand Cord. It does have a refreshed cover, but this is the copy I'm going to be reading from because it's the same great book. And this story is about three friends, and so it does have 3 points of view. And I thought I would start today with reading from the prologue, because these three women have been friends since they were children at a boarding school together. And so the prologue kind of sets us up for their relationship at this boarding school. Stately red brick, manicured lawns, and well-kept flower beds, the perfect backdrop for Parkview Private Girls Academy. Nature itself crowned all with a cobalt sky and warmth from the golden sun. All was exactly as it should be for an institution that prided itself on turning out well-bred young ladies of means. "Quick, this way!" A dark-haired girl of about 12 gestured to her companions, her voice barely above a whisper. All three girls ducked around the sculpted hedge and squatted, peeping through the foliage. The blonde one giggled. "This is so exciting." "What if we get in trouble?" The third girl pushed her glasses up on her nose with her forefinger. Her chestnut hair bobbed as she shook her head. "I'm not sure this is such a good idea." "Shh!" The dark-haired ringleader held a finger to her lips. "Here comes Casey Brinks." The three waited, holding a collective breath as their arch nemesis, another 12-year-old girl, neared the appointed spot under a tree. Suddenly, an explosion of water soaked her as a water balloon hit her dead on. "Ah!" The girl stood frozen while she tried to catch her breath. "Come on!" hissed the leader and the one with the accurate aim. The threesome crept from the shadows as stealthily as 12-year-old girls wearing uniforms were able and made a break for it, letting their excited giggles burst from their lungs unfettered. "I see you, Stella Creighton," the enraged mini-diva called after them, hands on hips. "You and your little cronies. The headmistress is going to hear about this." The girls kept running. They'd been caught outright, and all that was left now was to wait for the punishment. Stella reached the maintenance shed first, her black hair flying out behind her. She yanked the door open, and all three slipped inside. "What do you think they'll do?" Tempest's eyes looked even bigger and wider behind her spectacles. Stella shrugged. "Call our parents." "Do you think they'll send us home? I don't want to live with Aunt Rose." Tempest frowned, her eyebrows disappearing behind the rims of her glasses. Charisse flipped her blonde tresses back off her shoulder. "Don't worry. Daddy's on the board of directors." "Oh, are you sure they won't send us home?" Tempest's eyes were wide, her voice hopeful. "Nothing's ever for sure," Stella stated. "But our folks are paying way too much for them to get rid of us. Besides, I'm the one who threw the balloon, not you." "But what if your folks make you go home?" Tempest began, twisting her hands together. Stella snorted. "The last thing my stepmother wants is to have me back home." "You wouldn't want to go and leave us anyway, would you?" Charisse teased. "Your two best friends in the whole world?" Stella shrugged. "Not that I don't love you two, but..." "You miss Texas," Tempest supplied. "Like I miss California and..." She clamped her mouth, blinking her eyelashes rapidly. "Hey, it's okay." Charisse put a comforting arm around Tempest's shoulders. "I know you miss your folks. I don't know what I would do if I'd lost mine like you did, even if they are a pain sometimes." Tempest shook her head. "I don't want to live with Aunt Rose," she stated again. "We won't let that happen, will we, Stella?" Charisse looked to the other girl for confirmation. "We'll try our best." "Why doesn't your stepmother like you?" Tempest swiped at a tear that strayed down her cheek. Stella shrugged. "Guess she wants my dad all to herself." Tempest leaned her head back against the rough wall and sighed. "What do you miss most about Texas?" Stella furrowed her brow. "Besides the ranch? Zane and Blue." "Are those your pets?" Charisse asked. No, silly. Zane and Blue are my best friends. Well, besides you guys, Stella explained. You have boys for friends? Tempest's eyes had become almost as round as her glasses. You're so funny, Charisse giggled. I'd love to have boys for friends, especially with names like Zane and Blue. Are they cute? Stella frowned. They're just friends. You're so boy crazy, Charisse. Charisse just shrugged. So? Anyway, there's no chance of me going home now. My stepmother has seen to that. She couldn't wait to get me out of the house just as soon as she married my dad. Just like a fairy tale, Charisse sighed dreamily. Believe me, there's nothing fun about it. Stella sat up and crossed her arms. Well, at least you have parents. Tempest's voice was quiet. She fixed her gaze on her lap, blinking rapidly. We're your family now, Temp. Right, Stella? Charisse gave Tempest's shoulder a quick squeeze before she shifted, straightening. Enough gloom. Let's talk about Casey Brinks. We got her good. She's such a snob. I can't believe I used to be friends with her. Yeah, until you started hanging around with us, Stella stated. We weren't cool enough for Casey Brinks and her fan club. She shifted her position so she could peek out the small knot hole in the wall of the shed. The coast is clear. You're way more fun, Charisse declared. This is so exciting, and it's kind of scary, too. Just wait till old Miss Cranky Pants gets a hold of us, Stella said, her eyes twinkling. Now that will be scary. So what do we do now? Just wait to get caught? Pretty much, Stella said with a shrug. Hey, I have an idea. Tempest dug in her pocket. She pulled out several bright strands of colored embroidery floss. I read a book on making friendship bracelets, and I just got some new colors. We could make some, if you want to, that is. Stella nodded. Why not? Okay, Charisse agreed. So what do we do? It's kind of like weaving, Tempest explained, beginning to work with the threads. I read that once you tie it on, you can never take it off. It means you'll be friends forever. Neat! I want some of this color, Charisse exclaimed, reaching for a few hot pink strands. We should make them for each other. Stella took the pink strands from Charisse. Or how about if we each work on all three, Tempest suggested. That way we'll be connected forever. Good idea, Stella agreed. Friends forever. Friends forever, the other two echoed. So that was the prologue. When the girls are 12, of course, the rest of the book takes place, about 10 years later when they're young adults. And you'll see that on the original covers, we had a friendship bracelet here to signify, the friends. But of course, and there they are, three of them. I kind of like the prologue in that it introduces the three characters and you kind of get a sense of who they are. Tempest being somewhat timid, practical, studious. She's not always, doesn't want to take risks, and rightly so, because she's an orphan who lost her parents and was forced to go live with Aunt Rose, who then put her in the boarding school. Charisse is a typical blonde bimbo, if you will. I think sometimes she tries to act less smart than she really is, but she's definitely boy crazy already, as we saw in the prologue, and that carries through into her adult life, where she thinks with her heart more than with her head and gets into some trouble there. And then Stella, who is also practical, but she's kind of the no-nonsense one. She's from Texas. She can fight with the boys if she has to, and she's not afraid of anything. So those are the three. Three-strand cord. We have Tempest, Stella, and Charisse. And it's just a fun book. I love it. And of course, it moves into, it became a series as I got writing. It expanded into a 4-book series, actually, originally 3-book series. But there you have the prologue, an introduction to our three main characters, and I hope you pick up a copy. You can visit my website, tracykrause.com, where you'll find this and many other books. There's no E in Tracy. There are 2 S's in Krause, however, and I would just love it if you would stop by. So that is it for today, and I hope to see you next time on Book Talk with Tracy. See you. Bye-bye for now.